Deltarune Chapter 4 is an absolute blast to play through. It has all the charm of the other parts while carrying its own more serious tones. I need a moment to reflect on everything that was thrown at us during this chapter, and I'm so glad I have the opportunity to do so in this video. Without further ado, here's Deltarune Chapter 4 in 10 minutes. Apparently, no matter what, every chapter has to start in the morning. It seems everyone fell asleep and made it back to Chris's house between Chapter 3's end and now. Toriel invites Susie to come to church, which she begrudgingly accepts only because the church might have some clues to unlocking the shelter. We sit through a Deltarune church service, which gives us some lore insights on how people see the world. We talk to Noelle and determine that we are going to go to her house and totally get a lot of studying done. Noelle's mother is the mayor and owns a giant mansion. It is clear that although Noelle is a good person, she's naive to the fact that not everyone lives as luxuriously as her. We find one of the codes we've been looking for in Dessa's room, but it seems Chris has other plans. When they throw the soul into a crate, we have to guide it through the air vents to make a few discoveries. When we find Chris after overhearing a conversation between them and a dark force, they recapture us. Next we go to the basement, where Noelle and Susie are alerted of our presence when we turn the lights out. However, in the sequence that ensues, they do not discover the soul outside of Chris. Chris then tries to stop us from getting the guitar, but we do enough to make Susie open the door and grab it. But Noelle's mom comes in and kicks Susie out before she even realizes there's a code. Now it's time for the moment I'd been waiting for. We finally get to visit Castletown. I spent a good hour here because not only can you talk to new recruits as usual, there are plenty of mini-games. First up is the mic room. I believe this room has a Nintendo Switch 2 edition variant, but I'm playing the regular version here. We have to progress through this fight without any items, using the mouse and a microphone. The microphone generally changed your position, and was very tough to use since there was a ton of delay. The mouse could destroy certain bullets and complete some objectives. After surviving this fight, it's revealed Mike actually isn't here. There are a few simple minigames afterward that I gave an attempt at each. This one where we have to dodge rain and deliver cats. This one where we have to play basketball with the cats. And this auto-scroller where we combine the cats to change their color. The guitar sections are the real fun part. In Chapter 3, only one track was showcased, but now there are 3 songs with 2 tracks each. I played each song on both normal and hard. Its TV times guitar remixing made it feel extra special and fun. I wish there were an easier way to go back and play this mode without starting up a new Chapter 4 file. Knock You Down was really difficult for me for some reason. I don't know if the tempo was weird, but I failed out of this hard mode multiple times. It wasn't as fun as the other 2 for me. There's plenty of stuff to discover in Castletown, but I'm trying to keep this brief, so let's move on to the Dark World, where the knight immediately meets us. We're introduced to these prophecies on the wall, which will be important this entire chapter, and probably beyond. We meet the old man who is clearly trying to antagonize us by going as slow as possible. He'll have plenty of agility later, trust me. After Rousey becomes a stool again, we go to help him After a few challenges, we make it back to the old man's study. We still have no climbing gear, so let's keep on looking. Throughout the chapter, there are a bunch of pianos where we have to search for the codes to progress. Here's an example. This door leads to a mini-boss, Jackenstein. Here we have to navigate mazes to build up TP and progress the fight. It does not take long for the shenanigans to begin. Once you reach the end of a maze, don't worry though, we can use our action at 80% TP to turn the lights on. Only 35% mercy? Guess we're only a third of the way through. Cue the montage! Once we win the fight, we receive the climbing gear and are finally ready to explore this dark world. We come upon a golden piano telling us we have to backtrack to find 3 melodies. The first is atop this long climbing section. At first it seems there's nothing at the top. Feeling defeated, we leave, only to discover the holy water cooler. While the nonchalantness of the original water cooler is not present here, a different kind of aura emanates from her. After exhausting all our actions, she transforms into her true form. After some Asgore flashbacks, we are able to spare her for the first melody. The second melody is much easier to find. All we have to do is walk through this dark section until we reach the end. Same goes for the third, but in a different location. With the full song pieced together, we can play it at the golden piano. This opens the mysterious axe door in the old man's study. I think it might be time for our secret boss. The old man seems to be a lot more capable than we thought. This fight will take place with only Susie and no items. The beginning of the fight feels like Undyne at home. The axe blocking sprite not looking like garbage is unbefitting. The fight quickly differentiates itself when the blocking becomes 8-directional. This was incredibly annoying. I play on controller, so the amount of times the analog stick would snap to a cardinal direction when I pushed it diagonally was insane. Deltarune has no D-pad support, that would be too easy. The shell attack is pretty tame once you get the hang of it, but the hammer attack is something else. My winning run was the only run I ever no-hit the first iteration of this attack, and it's super easy to just get hit by it 5 times and lose. Another thing to note is, it looks like you're taking a lot of damage, but this fight may as well be Garden Warfare 2, because the damage taken will decrease from 42 all the way down to 5 as you get closer to death. It is super satisfying to watch this gameplay all come together. The special attack is a little less special than the others. I died to it a couple times because I was on low health going in, but I didn't know it was the last attack until after I passed it. Once we do, we receive our cool axe and shadow crystal. As we push onward, we find another giant piano. This time Susie goes in and looks for the code all by herself. Inside this room, the old man asks her to copy his letter in the real world, since nothing in the dark world is real except for memories. Susie doesn't even need to show Chris the code though. They just play on their own and it works. I haven't mentioned these bell guys yet. They're funny. There's a lot of climbing to do here. Thankfully it's well designed and not frustrating. When the last door in the old man's study opens, the knight appears once more. We have to do a climbing section while also dodging its attacks. Upon reaching the top, the fountain is right there and we seal it. This would normally be cause for celebration, but Susie realizes the old man who only exists in the dark world might know a code. She decides to create a new dark world, hoping the old man will still be present. This dark world is a little odd though. The lighting has changed. A few clues seem to point to this being a mirror dimension of some sort. This climbing section is the most unique one yet, with an effect that makes 2D appear 3D. Susie also monologues a bunch here. In another dark area, the old man appears to be attacking us. After this quick game of Simon, Rouse rushes in and tells us that's not actually the old man. He's not here. Now we have to press onward and steal this dark world just like the last. When Jackenstein fails to help us climb to the top of this tower, we have our obligatory pacifist route cutscene. Still, the knight pushes us back, and each party member takes a lot of hits before we finally catch up. We still don't know the knight's true intentions, but all that matters now is, it seems to be trying to unleash the roaring. This is obviously bad news, but we get this cool cutscene of the Titan forming. While fighting these Titan spawn, I notice Chris deals way more damage than the others, presumably because they have the black shard from defeating the knight equipped. This knowledge will come in handy later. After more climbing, man this is repetitive, we reach the Titan. The Titan's defenses are extremely high, and Chris is the only one who can break through for now, so the others defend. After playing some Luigi's Mansion, we get enough TP to expose a weakness just for one turn, and get some massive damage in. I beat this fight in only 2 cycles, presumably due to the black shard. Once we defeat it though, it just heals. Luckily, when all hope seemed lost, the old man swoops in and saves the day, somehow. I guess he really was holding back earlier. In the end, the final prophecy awaits, but we don't get to see it. It seems to be something very bad as Susie destroys it before we can get to it. I think I know which r/Silksong flare she gets. She denies the prophecy and believes there's still a way to change it. There's just no way to know until future chapters release. I guess it's time to head home and finish the chapter. We can find Toriel next time. But wait, she was actually here all along? Apparently she never went into the church dark world and was befriending Sans the entire time. Chris just cannot fall asleep to their loud music. I don't blame him. Phone goes off once more as the chapter comes to a close. This credits music is mid as hell. I mean, nothing will ever top Until Next Time in all likelihood, but I was expecting a banger. At the end, we're told the halfway mark has been attained. Does that mean there are 8 chapters? It would make sense if the game had the 7 chapters we knew about, plus a finale. Chapter 5 is slated for next year. It seems we're going back to 1 chapter at a time releasing. Thanks so much for watching if you made it this far. I'm glad to be done with Deltarune for now, as I have a bunch of other videos I want to make. I hope you all enjoyed and have a great day.